I'm Barbara Lapointe, the host of Healing Forward, and today I am back with Dr. Rose Backman, broadcasting live from beautiful Puerto Vallarta. Dr. Rose Backman, we're always excited to have her here, and she's been helping women step into their true, raw personal power for well over 25 years, and I have goosebumps as I say that. So today we're going to be talking about the price. What price did you pay for love? And honestly, hey, Dr. Rose.
Hi. It's a good title, right?
It's a good title, and I love the way you say you're going to shake them and wake them up.
Well, women, for all of you that are listening, you know we all need to be shaken up. I had to go through that too. Barbara, you had to go through that. And the most important thing is to have a voice and never give up who you are. That's the very first thing I want to say to everybody. Do you have the real you in you? Have you become somebody else's personality the way they want you to be, or have you lost yourself?
This is so powerful already because when I was like sort of getting into the energy of our conversation today, I knew that somehow we were going to talk about disassociation. And I haven't talked about that for a long time. We're going to get into all of it. But before we do, don't just watch this episode. Please subscribe. Please make a comment. Let us know that you're here. And Dr. Rose Backman also offers a very generous clarity call. It's a breakthrough call. Leave a comment below. We watch the feed, get involved, and that's how we make change. Always remember that fear is false evidence is appearing real, and it's not real. And we're going to break through that today. Dr. Rose, I'm going to start by saying the price that I paid for love was actually giving up my own sovereignty. And that was a big price for me.
If you go back to your childhood, my question would be, who taught you to be a good little quiet girl?
Wow. Yeah. I feel that so much. I'm 50 years old. That's a long time ago in my childhood, but I still have to go back there to do that deep healing. And who taught me to be such a people pleaser or taught me that going along to get along, to give up my sovereignty was something that was actually acceptable? It's a powerful question, Dr. Rose.
Well, most of us, I think we give up our power, even if we're a strong personality. And it's about being authentic with yourself. But I've shared this in the past is that we all have 4 generations of DNA in our body, a minimum of 4 generations, according to Dr. Bruce Lipton. So there's your parents and their parents and their parents and their parents. So we've got all this genetic mumble jumble in us. We don't know what they've gone through, but we sure feel what they've gone through because part of it's within us if it gets triggered. So once a person makes a decision to say, the magic words are, have you had enough? Have you had enough of being broke? Have you had enough of a bad relationship? Have you had enough of being overweight? Have you had enough of giving your power away? Fill in the blank as many times as you want. That's the magic question. But what we're doing here, Barbara, and for everybody that's listening, is our goal is to help women walk out of that crazy mindset of being a victim and staying stuck and thinking you have no choice. If you don't have a voice, that's up to you. That is up to you. And if you don't feel safe, you need to make an effort to get safe.
Sometimes we stay stuck for so long and we start thinking that we don't have a choice. It's like a learned incompetence or a victim identity, that victim coat that we keep putting on. So you're really putting the power back in our hands with those statements that you just made.
Well, women have to make a decision. You know, this is one of my favorite statements. I've made a decision not to make a decision. That's my decision. Well, then don't come complaining to me. I mean, I'm saying that with love, but I mean what I'm saying. If you're going to be a victim, and I've had that more than once where people go into the blame game. I get it. We all have a story, but how long does a story last? Does it last 1 year, 5 years, the rest of your life? No, you're not allowed to do that in our space. What Barbara and I are saying here, we're here to support you. And you have to be able to love yourself just even a little bit to say, there's one little thing that I can do to start. And that one little thing, I don't know, do you remember the one little thing you did when you started to claim your power back?
That's a good question. I think I started practicing saying no, but in micro doses.
Yes, that's what we all do, including myself. It's called micro doses. Mine was, I got to have control because I can see there's no control around me.
Oh,
There's no control.
mm.
So when you don't feel in control, sometimes you become who you're not. You can become a real bitch as a woman because you don't feel you have control of what's happening in your relationship because we weren't taught how to communicate properly. Most people don't know how to communicate. The silent treatment is the most common one. Oh, I don't talk to you for a week, 2 weeks. I knew of a lady, her husband died. She talked in the present tense about him. I'd worked with her for about 6 months, I believe.
Wow.
He'd been dead 13 years.
Wow.
So as we had this conversation, I thought I was going goofy, you know? And then it came out of her mouth one day. I said, Something's wrong here. Like, what's going on?" And then finally she admitted her husband had been gone for 13 years. She couldn't let go. Everything was in the present tense that she responded to. So, ladies, don't go into la la land and stay away from girlfriends that need you to support them because you don't need that. At that moment when you're suffering, you need somebody that's reaching out to you, that's saying, I'm extending my hand. Here's what I can do for you. This is who I can refer to you. Because sometimes a girlfriend thinks she's a counselor.
Oh, that this is golden. These are these golden pearls that you're giving out each week on the show, Dr. Rose, because we actually have to select and deselect. Like because what I hear you saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, is maybe mom's not the perfect person to ask for advice, or the girlfriend that you work out with at yoga class, maybe they're just not the right person to talk to.
Well, I would tell everybody, go to a professional. They know what they're doing. And if I can say this, and I will, is talk therapy. mm, I think people have talked and talked and talked and talked and still haven't made a decision. One of my favorite statements is, I've made a decision not to make a decision. So there's my decision. So, your best girlfriend, if she's gone through a lot and she's grown, she's going to smack you with love. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't have all the answers, but she's a start for you to listen to. I always say, go to a professional, invest in yourself. It's just little increments of change that are amazing. And my question is, why are you afraid to change? Why do you like your suffering so much that you're not willing to do anything about it?
Yeah, these are really confronting questions that you're throwing out to us today because you often say struggle is a choice.
It's always a choice. Always, always, always. And I believe it was Ken Keyes who said that, is that struggle is optional, choose happiness. Struggle is optional, but we don't know that. We have to go through a lot to be able to realize, okay, I can be me and it's safe to be me. And I want the right people in my space. If we don't have the right people around us,
Hmm.
I, okay, we live in Mexico. Here's what I learned about that.
Tell me.
I'm not going out for a drink every night. or 5 drinks every night. A lot of people here, okay, it's happy hour and you get special prices, but what are you hiding? What are you hiding from that you have to drink every night and pretend that everything's hunky dory? From the woman that lives in a penthouse or the woman that lives in a one-bedroom apartment. They're all emotions that are stuck that you refuse to look at. You refuse to look at it. And women here are looking for men.
Yes, well, good luck with that.
Good luck with that. I agree with you. I agree with you. You want to find a man? I, I don't think my first choice, not that it's not impossible, it's no different than being at home in Canada and you're in the bar all the time. If you're in the bar all the time and that person's in the bar all the time, you both have a problem.
What I hear you saying is kind of running from self, running
Yes.
away, and
Yeah,
it
look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and see how many wrinkles you have because you've drank God knows how many gallons of vodka.
yeah, it's so funny, but it's so true. Like we can run and we can run, and wherever we go, there we are. So you said earlier when you've had enough.
Yeah, we don't do much until we've had enough.
We don't do much until we had enough, and I love that. And is that kind of like a break point statement then?
Well, absolutely. And, you're drinking to not deal with your emotions, and if I've got girlfriends and they're all drinkers, how can I talk to them? Because there's liquor talking to me. There's not a human. You
Big
should do, and they're not very nice. Most women, if you have a really good friend, she's going to smack you in between the eyeballs.
like a real
But
friend.
yeah, a really good friend tells you the truth.
It's so true. I love that you encourage women to invest in themselves and pay for the therapy or pay for the counseling or pay to come and see someone like you because you're a kinesiologist.
Your body knows the answers.
Tell
Ladies, pay attention.
tell me more about that. Tell me more.
Well, every organ holds emotions. So the most common emotions with your lung, if you have lung problems, is grief. With heart, it's love. With liver, it's anger.
Mm,
With your pancreas, ha, you're never enough. So every organ is going to push your buttons without you even knowing it at an emotional level. You either choose suffering or you choose change. I,
wow.
I I've talked about this for 35 years. And I can remember one particular lady, it took her an hour to make a decision at one of our events, The Power of an Unstoppable Woman in Regina. We've had that event going on for 12 years. And I sit back and I go, wow, what are you afraid of? This particular lady was so afraid of having a voice. She had a very gentle husband. She wasn't going to do anything wrong. She was just going to go on a holiday by herself. Well, it took her months to figure that out. I want to go away by myself. She was a melancholy personality, so she needed the space.
Okay.
But here's the problem. Ask yourself, Barbara,
Okay.
did I have the freedom to speak my truth when I was growing up in my household?
Mm. Absolutely not.
So I was lucky I did.
Oh,
When you don't, you end up making the wrong mistakes. Nobody's divorced. Like nobody in my family is divorced.
that's very
So
usual with a divorce rate of over 55% in North America.
yeah, so I mean, maybe cousins are divorced, but I don't know of anybody that I can think of. But it's like, okay, so what if I just make a decision to really be me? And then people don't even have a clue what that is. What does that mean? If you give up who you are,
Mhm.
you pay the biggest price ever. You lose you. You lose you. And I don't know how much suffering. Well, let me ask you,
Mhm.
how much suffering did you go through before you made a decision? How many years?
Years. years, but I had 2 very consistent years of daily suffering before I actually pulled the trigger and filed for divorce. And that's a long time, 2 years, and it was suffering. And you can't go back and change it, but I often wished, wow, I wish I would have just filed for divorce. But I've thought about it for a few years. And the energetic.
Well, they're the same thoughts, right?
Mhm. They were.
Same thoughts for 2 years.
Yes.
And that's what we want the listeners to pay attention to right now is ask yourself, what are the same thoughts I've had for the past however many months or years? But you've made a decision not to make a decision. That's your decision.
Mhm. Exactly. It's staying frozen, staying stuck. And the whole theme of this podcast is moving forward, healing forward. So how do we move forward? I'm glad we came back to our theme of what price did you pay for love? And also this kind of trademark, really, the statement of your talks and of the shows of the power of an unstoppable woman. Why is that significant to women, that title?
There's every category with that title, the power of an unstoppable woman, whether it's money issues, weight issues, relationship issues, business issues. It's the power you have within you as a woman that makes you or breaks you. It's pretty simple. So you either plug the power in or you plug it out, right? We plug it in or we plug it out. There's days, Barbara, that I'm sure you wake up and you're like, I'm kick ass today, boy. So nobody's going to take my power away from me. And there's other days you'll sit there and you'll listen to somebody and you'll go, oh my God,
Mhm.
what am I doing? What am I doing? And do I have the courage to make a decision? One small decision. And that first small decision might be just having a voice, sitting down with your partner and saying, let's talk.
Mm.
And the man says, what do you want to talk about? Us. How about you just have the courage to say us? And I think the magic first sentence is, what happened to us?
Oh, wow.
What happened to us? What is it that you need from me that I don't give you? That's a question you ask each other. What is it you need from me? And men, they don't leave women as quickly as women leave men. They hang in there. They hang in there and they just go quiet. Well, that makes us crazy. And then eventually you're not even in the same bed. Or you're in the same bed, you don't touch each other. Your toe doesn't touch his toe.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Somebody has to have a voice, but if you don't do something, you're going to get sick. As a human being, it's just totally normal. When you don't have love, you have heart problems.
Mm.
You have pain. You have pain wherever that pain is. And again, it goes back to you've made a decision not to make a decision. That's your decision. So your decision was suffering. That's on you. That's on you. But you know what's sad, Barbara, is if you have children. We teach our children, most parents that are divorced, all their kids get divorced.
Yeah.
Mostly.
I mean, we're talking casually, but these are all very factually backed up. The divorce rate over 55%, that's factual. Women usually instigate divorce. That's evidence-based stuff. Kids, you just said kids usually get divorced. That's also factual if their parents have been divorced, and we pass on this legacy. So, um, what makes it sadder when it comes to kids?
Uh, We learn from our parents. We learn everything from our parents. And again, we have the genetics that goes back 4 generations. So we're in a society, people don't even know who they are. A man's not a man and a woman's not a woman. I don't know who's who anymore. And they spread that, and that's your own personal choice if you choose to do that. Go down that pathway of craziness. Um, when I say craziness, it's about giving up who you are to get the pleasure and the support and the love and the acceptance of other people. Go be you, yes, go be you, but allow yourself to receive and give love. Now you're going to create happiness no matter what category of life you're in. You have to look after you. And when you pick wrong men or wrong women, that's a learned behavior. That's a learned behavior because we don't pay attention to the knowingness. I think I said this in our last interview is I remember with my first husband, I said to myself, I'll save him.
And
I couldn't save him.
and what price did you pay for that kind of love?
No, he was murdered outside of our home.
Oh
So
my God.
that's the price that he paid with his life.
Mhm.
I knew something was wrong. I had a voice. Before he was murdered, I remember having a conversation with him and saying, you know that guy sitting there in our restaurant? Get him the hell out of here now. And, he's sort of like, no, I can't do that. That type of energy. I'm not sitting at the table. I'm not knowing what they're talking about, but I can feel it. Have you ever felt something so strong with your partner and you're going, what's going on inside of me?
You can't ignore it.
You can't ignore it. But that's the guy that killed him.
Oh my gosh.
So I went, well, you went down a pathway that wasn't good. I'm the good little farm girl, a mess to clean up, a mess and judgment. But you know what I didn't know? I know now, but I didn't know back then. This is 1984. I didn't know how strong I was, Barbara. I didn't know. And I never, when I went home to Saskatchewan, I never thought
Mhm.
of people judging me so harshly. They didn't. It wasn't in my energy field for some reason. Yes, you go through, a divorce is like a death, they say. I've never been divorced, but was it like a death for you?
Yes, I've heard that saying a lot. No, it was like the coming alive of a tsunami. Like
Good, good. But you could have died in the tsunami.
yeah. I mean, I for sure probably went through those phases of grief and denial, and that's something we've been talking about today, denial and grief. Um,
And when we're young, we don't know our personality. We don't know much about personality styles. But once we learn about personality styles, like I'm a talker, controller, controller, talker, we automatically take charge, even if it's not in a good scenario. We take charge.
mm,
And, but I never allowed myself to feel, I mean, yes, I was insecure, of course. At times I was, but that was part of growth. Nobody feels good about their husband being murdered. Nobody feels good about that. you know,
sure. You said that you didn't know how strong that you actually were as a woman, and what was the benefit in discovering that? Because I'm curious.
well, the benefit of that was when I went home,
Mhm.
I met somebody that gave me a video to watch, and it was all about the physical body. And I went and I took courses in the United States and I got certified in, different techniques, but the technique is kinesiology, and then you learn more about kinesiology. And I realized that I created that. I knew before I married him, you shouldn't marry him, Rose. But the lie was, the ego was so big, it said, I will fix him. Please, ladies, delete that thought out of your mind that you will fix him. You fix yourself first. You do whatever it takes for you to be honest and to open your eyes and your ears because women make themselves pay a price.
Mhm.
You know, we become overweight, we become underweight, we become alcoholics, we become controllers, we become all these different things
Mhm.
for to survive.
Yeah, to survive. I mean, we're all trying to get our needs met to survive and to cope, but
Right.
and it's like, what price are we paying?
Yeah, we pay a high price
Uh,
until one day we say enough. I know. You know who you are, Barbara. What you went through, you know who you are. You know what you stand for, you know what you believe in. So, you're a nice person. I'm not as nice as you. I'm not, because I have a stronger voice, and, when I set a boundary, I had to learn to set boundaries because the other part of a personality is, you're the nice person, you're the talker, you're the friendly one. I mean, we have to get real with ourselves as women and say, this is not acceptable when your best friend tells you, or you say to your best friend, when the hell are you going to stop this? Because I don't want to hear your story. Have you ever had a girlfriend you heard the story 40, 50 million times? It's like you're sick of it.
yeah, like, don't you get tired of telling the same story kind of thing?
Yeah, so we have to walk away. And you have to walk away from friendships
Mhm.
that are not good either. Because I realized I was the healer for 40 years to one particular friend, two particular friends, 40 years. I had to walk away from both of them because you just get to a point it's like you wake up one day and a light bulb is so bright. It's like, wow, I finally have the courage to say, it's not my job to save everyone.
Mm.
Because if they're not healthy for you, Barbara,
Mhm.
and you feel used when you're always working on somebody, you feel used.
Oh,
So,
eventually. Yes.
and that's not their fault. That's my fault because I was very willing to give my time for years. But what did they give me?
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's really a lot of value and power in having a free energy exchange because ultimately you come to those questions that you were asking. I see what you're saying.
Like, when have you had enough? When have you had enough? That's a question I want every woman to think about.
Hmm.
I'm not asking you to do anything but ask that question to yourself. This is all about you. And this is about honoring and valuing that little girl inside of you. And we all hear the stories, oh, I wish I would have. You still can.
Mm.
You still can. Whatever it is you're wishing for. But it all starts with you. It's not pointing the finger at your husband, your children, your grandparents, your parents, whomever it is, your best friend. It's none of that. You have to have the courage to say, this is what I need to change. And a good friend tells you the truth. A good friend tells you the truth.
That,
Have you ever had to do that?
um, yeah, I'm sure I have. Yes, absolutely.
And did they appreciate what you had to say?
Y- It's hard to find a good friend, but you're right. I mean, I think what's interesting about you is that we don't all often hear this messaging or the messages and the clarity and truths that you're sharing. So if you're not ready to change, you're not going to change. It's what you're saying.
Well, and get off the pharmaceutical drugs if you're on them, because that's just another form of numbing.
Yeah.
You're numbing yourself. You've made a decision not to make a decision. That's your decision. So you're swallowing all these prescription drugs because you can't deal with your children because you're a control freak. As an example, this is a true story from one of my clients. And finally, she snapped out of it. Finally. But everything was her kids, her kids, her kids. She wanted to try and control her kids. But we become our mother or our father. So she was controlled as a child. Over the edge control. So she became what she couldn't stand, controlled.
Exactly.
And then she became the master controller of the house. Well, and then you bring the kids, she brought the children to me to fix. No, 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 no. I can do something for the kids, but you're the main cause. So this has to be a family. I remember having 7 people in my office, and it was all family and in laws.
Wow.
It was ridiculous. It lasted 4 hours. And finally, here's the biggest issue.
Mhm.
The need to be right is so strong that there's justification for everything we did. Rather than allowing the ego to take over, just surrender and say, yeah, this is what I did. And I'm sorry. That's all it is. I'm sorry. I admit that I did this. I admit that I turned my children into monsters and spoiled brats. I remember this woman was getting married and she was Asian and she was trying to run the whole family. So his family was a peacekeeping family
Uh-huh.
and her family were, let's take control and tell you exactly like it is. And she didn't like me. I don't care. I didn't need her approval. I just said to her, do you realize? So, do you realize what you're saying? Hey, 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 you don't get to be disrespectful to your in laws because they were quiet people. But you didn't get what you needed as a child. And now you think that you're going to tell other people what to do and how they should do it? No, sweetie pie. And I remember saying to the husband, where's your balls? Are you wearing any?
You said that, Dr. Rose?
I did because it was so ridiculous.
Well, you know what? One thing I love about you is that you say it with a lot of love. And sometimes when you hear those hard truths, in the moment it doesn't you can't really swallow it. But later when you've healed, you look back and you go, thank God that person actually told me to grow a set of balls because I really needed to hear it at the time. I didn't know that.
Well, she wanted him to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and he wouldn't do it because of his personality. No, 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 I keep the peace, I keep the peace, whether we talk about his parents or the in laws. But it's exhausting. I understand where she's coming from, but she allowed her ego to take over because she couldn't control the outcome of emotions to be understood. And hey, somebody needs to take charge, and you need to take charge in a loving way. That takes time to learn. I mean, I'm assuming you've always been loving. When you were in a fight, you were probably still nice, but your fight probably wasn't mean. I don't know, tell me.
I would say that's accurate and true. I mean, if I had to describe myself, yeah, it's like a value I hold. Not saying I haven't had some uglier moments, but yeah, no, yeah.
So you've learned to stand up for who you are and what you believe in no matter what.
Yes, I have learned that. And you have to learn it. It's taken all this time, right? And through very difficult circumstances. Like you discovered how strong you really were as a woman, and you've been paying it forward all these years. Um, yeah.
And we get stronger, don't you think? Every year or every month, whatever it is, we get a little stronger. I've just learned to be sweeter about things. I can still tell somebody to screw off, but I'll do it nice.
Yeah, there's some power in that alone, just telling someone, and this isn't actually me saying it, telling someone to F off, but in a very nice way is how you describe it.
Yeah, the boundary is so strong, and it's something that we all have to learn. We all have to learn. And There's only two emotions: love and hate. Love and hate. So, you're going to hate? Or are you going to, what emotion are you going to choose? Decide. Again, it goes back to I've made a decision not to make a decision. That's my decision.
I know that what you're saying is the point of your power, your personal power is in the moment when you make a decision.
Yes, when you make that decision. You know what people are programmed to make decisions about who to marry. They're programmed about how many babies they're going to have. They're programmed about where they're going to live.
Mhm.
They're not programmed how to love and have a voice. They're not programmed.
Isn't
We
that
all become our parents
mm,
until we don't. And whatever you do when you have children, let your children have a voice and tell you exactly what they see. I've had some in-laws that were raised with religion,
okay?
and that was everything. Everything was based on religion. And I remember saying, "What the hell are you hiding from?" They loved me, but they didn't love me. So I'm like, "What are you really doing?" Well, one day they wake up because they were raised this way, except he wasn't raised that way, but the woman was. So they get married.
Mhm.
They play that dance. That's their business. I respect it.
Mhm.
But when everything is based on religion and you can't make a decision unless you pray for 4 hours or 10 hours or whatever it is, okay, that's fine too, if that's what you need. Then all of a sudden, they quit.
They quit their
They quit. They quit believing everything.
Wow, that's, one swing to the other, what a polarity.
And I went, and they called me one day and said, "I want you to come over." They knew the work that I did. She understood, she's done a little bit of emotional work herself. And I said to my husband, "What just happened? What just happened after 35 years?" And yeah, they woke up. They have nothing to do with religion anymore because that was programmed in them from the time she was born. He became that way because of her and became a minister for a short period of time and quit because it wasn't his thing. And you know what it's all about? To be accepted. That'll be the damn day that we as human beings need to become a minister because your father-in-law was a minister and the brother-in-laws were ministers and the sisters were married to ministers. What the hell are you doing? Like what? And I'm so grateful that they're free now. They're being their authentic self. It was amazing to see. Amazing. Do you know how rare that is?
That's
It's
very
rare,
rare.
you know? But here's the other part is that they suffered for all those years.
Oh,
They suffered. They suffered. They, their kids suffered. The kids, my niece doesn't have a relationship. She's 40 some years old and no relationship.
wow.
And I'm going, okay.
Yeah,
So,
there's a lot of pain that we hold in family systems that we can just let go of.
yes, quit hiding whatever it is you're hiding from.
Mm.
You might be hiding from a voice. You don't want to have a voice. You might be hiding because of the fact that you actually do want a divorce. You might be hiding the fact that you never wanted children, but you've got them anyway. You gave your power away that way. I mean, it goes on and on and on of whatever you're hiding from. But, you have to live with you. And the more authentic you are, and the more you have the right people in your life, and the more you learn to love yourself, and the more you understand and you read and you go, you have to care enough to forgive yourself.
Mhm. So
You have to care enough to forgive yourself for giving away who you are so other people are happy. So think about that in your marriage.
mhm.
Did you give up who you were so other people were happy that you did what they wanted you to do.
Sure. I mean, I'm sure a lot of women out there can relate to what I'm about to say, but I was willing to play a role and play a role very well while putting personal power, dreams, self actualization on the shelf. And
So you had an Academy Award.
I didn't
You
get
played the role so well.
damn, I didn't get one. I know. I mean, you learn how someone can punch you in the face, you can walk around the corner and smile, and this is what we learn, and it's wrong. Like, doesn't
And
serve us anymore, and you're asking us to change our story.
change your story. Put the music on if you're if you're with your husband or your girlfriend or you're by yourself, put the music on and dance. Just dance. I would dance all around the house sometimes. And I'd go up to my husband and say, "Come on, honey, dance with me." And he'd give me some dorky look and give me a twirl. And I'm happy. And I kept dancing by myself through the house.
Aw.
It's not that we need them for a long time to dance with us when we're in those happy moments and we're choosing to, um, claim more of who we are. It's about just interacting for, I'm telling you, it was less than a minute, but it fills you up because they're being a bit playful with you. They have no idea what the hell's going on. You ask for what you want, they give it to you, and you go do your thing.
Yeah, some light energy. Sometimes we just need the light energy
Playful, just
play.
to be playful every single day, something playful.
I love that little golden nugget you just shared. Dr. Rose, I always like to speak to my audience and it's the same audience as yours, it's women. And so I like to throw in a little question about toxic relationships or narcissism. And we often hear that women are trained or unconsciously picking up settling for breadcrumbs. That's a common statement, like settling for breadcrumbs. What do you say to women who are doing that?
My question is, were you raised that way? Did you see your mom do that or your dad do that or your grandparents? There's a big form of control there. And, I'm not an expert except to say that it's an opinion is you are where you are in your life because you can't stand it any better. When you can stand a better life, you'll change, no matter what category of life you're in.
Wow.
I'm going to repeat that.
Please.
You are where you are in your life because you can't stand it any better. When you can stand a better life, then you will change.
I feel like I wanna encourage women listening to just pause it, at the screen and write that down and really sit with that question that you just so powerfully posed because it takes you to the core of a lot of your stuff, and it helps you to unpack things. Um, so thank you for that.
Well, remember, everyone, that your emotions will always deal with you. All sickness, all sickness comes from not dealing with your emotions. It's a slow process for some and a fast for others. Cancer, the emotion with cancer is anger.
Mhm.
Gallbladder issues. I'm galled. I'm pissed off. Well, pissed off is kidneys.
Oh.
You're galled with the gallbladder. And, your heart, you know how many heart problems there are? What do you think the heart's all about? What do you think the emotion is?
It has to be love.
Absolutely.
And it's mostly women who have heart attacks. Again, evidence, fact-based, give it a Google. So you're right, it's mostly women that have heart attacks.
So I, I, I really encourage people to, dig in and look at yourself and make a decision to change for the better. You don't have to leave anybody. If you don't want to, you don't have to. but honor you. And when you get better, usually, not always, depending on how open the partner is, the partner changes. My husband changed because I changed. Because I was down this pathway of emotional healing and da 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 da. And I remember dragging him at the end of an event and saying, "We're going to that chiropractor who's talking about emotions, and you're going to bloody well deal with your stuff." And I pushed him.
Well,
Now, can we really push a man to do that if he doesn't want to? Or would he could have just said, "No damn way am I doing that." No, he did it.
okay.
So that was the beginning of his pathway of healing.
Oh,
That opened
beautiful.
him up, and he realized how much power he had because he could read a body. He could read your body, Barbara, and tell you all about yourself.
Oh, I wish I could have met him. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
and there's other beautiful healers out there that do the same, and maybe they just do it in a different way. They're very, very intuitive about, you know, when they, meet somebody. Because I remember a gentleman probably, oh, it has to be 30 years ago. I'm yipping and yapping all over the place, and, this man comes up to me, he goes, "Yep, you weren't heard in the household." And I went, "What?" He goes, "Yep, that's your issue, you weren't heard." Well, I mean, I'm in my ego back then, I don't know much. I never forgot that.
Really? So it shifted something in you.
Yeah, it shifted because it's like, "Why are you talking so much?"
Interesting.
And that's one of our weaknesses as a we call it the sanguine personality. The sanguine's the talker,
Mhm.
the choleric personality is the controller, the phlegmatic personality is the peacekeeper. Really being honest with yourself and going, "Okay, hmm, I'm the controller." So there's the controller, the thinker, the peacekeeper, and the analytical.
Controller, thinker, peacekeeper, analytical. I'll put these in the show notes. I think it's really valuable to learn this with you, these personality types, because there's skills that help us move through the world when it's not so easy. You can
Well, you can get the book, Personality Plus. I learned everything from her.
Oh, okay.
She made a Dick and Jane personality style be so simple so everybody can understand. Her name is Florence Littauer.
Okay.
Florence Littauer. And it's called Personality Plus, a Dick and Jane book.
I love it. I love the Dick and Jane book. I love things simplified because don't tell me that people aren't having trouble, challenges with a lot of the things that we're talking about and that you are sharing with us because you just need to go on social media to see it. Divorce and breakups and toxic relationships. People are having struggles with the what I would call foundational stuff, like what you just said. Be really honest with yourself. That's what you asked women to do, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
be honest. Quit lying to yourself. I don't know how many times I say that during the day. Quit lying to yourself. Men, they they have a desire to suffer at some level because they want to keep doing what doesn't work. Like,
Wow.
okay, you have a prostate problem, you're going to take a pill for 30 years, you still have a prostate problem. You haven't healed the prostate in 30 years. What's going on in people's heads?
Well,
You have a headache and you're taking major, major, major drugs for your headache. 20 years later, you still have a goddamn headache. What
th
is going on?
this happens all the time, and I mean, for me, it's like anxiety. I see in my group and in the world so many women have anxiety, and I've brought if you have anxiety, I mean, it just goes on, day after day, year after year. We don't have to live like this.
Well, they claim it. It's my backache. It's my arthritis. It's my heart issues. You see, it's all mine. So if you don't deal with your emotions, you're going to get sick. That is everywhere. Go research and find the books that touch your heart and deal with, okay, start slowly. Start slowly. Personality Plus, that book is simple. It's a Dick and Jane book. You'll be able to see your weaknesses and your strengths. Somebody, I hope, that's listening is going to give themselves permission to say, I can do this. I can try and figure out why I am the way I am and why my husband or my children or my parents are the way they are. And I can do this by just educating myself. It's not about making anybody right or wrong. We're all screwed up somewhere, but just admit it. But here's the problem. I don't want you to admit it to be 300 pounds because you like chocolate cake so much. That is not. That is your ego making you suffer somehow, some way, which creates a physical problem. Remember, when you deal with your emotions, your body's very happy. When you don't deal with your emotions, you crave all sorts of junk. And I mean junk.
We started off saying, what price did you pay for love? And this is part of the power of becoming an unstoppable woman. These educational series talks that you're giving is bridging that gap. So can you describe to us what that might be, the identity of being, the embodiment of being an unstoppable woman? What's that power like for those that don't know?
Have a voice, stand up for who you are and what you believe in, honor and value yourself, put good food in your body, and love deeply.
Thank you.
You have to also care enough to forgive everyone and anyone and never take it personal.
Never take it personal. Before we close today, one last cheeky question. What is the worst thing that could happen if someone reached out to you for some sessions? I know people are afraid sometimes.
The worst thing that'll happen is you're going to cry, and it's the best thing that'll happen. Yeah, so you're going to cry because once I read the body, I offer people a 30-minute complimentary session if they choose. And we just go through things, and I will ask the body what they need. The body's going to tell me. I will give them the forgiveness for that technique. And then from there, they can decide if they want to keep suffering. And I'm saying that with love, not with judgment. You have a choice. If you suffer, any of us, when we suffer, we pay a price. Always. It's always our health. It's always our health. And you reject love.
Oh, that's another powerful one. Wow. It goes back to what you said. You want women to be able to receive.
I want them to understand after 35 years how adorable they are and how worthy and deserving they are and how it's worth it for them to become who they truly are. That's about being authentic. Give yourself permission to be who you truly are, not what mommy and daddy said you should be.
I felt expansive when you said that. Expansive. So I encourage everyone to step into their own expansiveness. Give yourself the permission to, like Dr. Rose said, honor yourself. Invest in a package with Dr. Rose. Invest in yourself. Dr. Rose, how can women who are ready to say yes to becoming unstoppable in their own power find you?
Well, they can find me on Messenger or they can just contact me through Rose at drrosebackman.com. And Backman is just like it sounds, Backman. Um, If you're in Mexico, you can call me at 322-200-1051.
Excellent. And I will put all that in the show notes. You can also reach out to me and I'll directly introduce and connect you to Dr. Rose. I highly encourage every woman to get a session, do a breakthrough clarity call with Dr. Rose. You've got nothing to lose. I'm Barbara Lapointe. Thanks for being here, Dr. Rose.
Thank you. And ladies, remember, struggle is optional. Choose happiness.
Healing doesn't happen all at once. It happens in moments like these. Wherever you are in your personal journey, honor it. If this episode meant something to you, share it, leave us a review, and stay connected for more conversations that move us forward. Until next time, I'm Barbara Lapointe, and remember, keep healing forward.